Hello, hello, hello. Let me kill. I wish there was another way to kill that double audio. And okay, who was it that spilled the beans? Who let the cat out of the bag? I was like hoping to come in and say, hey, everybody, let's say happy birthday to Addie. And I look and you guys are already saying happy birthday to Addie. My goodness. Happy birthday, Addie. You guys, you must have either remembered from last week or you have some inside baseball information, right? And happy Sunday, everybody. And I didn't know if Derek was going to make it. Derek had a fire at the tent camp last week or this morning, last week. So, happy Sunday. If you're new here, we just get together on Sunday night and chat. Eddie and Derek are the super moderators. I will argue the best moderators on YouTube live streams. Addie is formerly homeless and it's her birthday today. And Derek is homeless, unfortunately. And super unfortunately, there was a fire at the tent camp this morning, which is really, really scary, especially with all the fires that are going on. As he just texts, no injuries, which is a good thing. But, losing your home, whether it be a tent or a 3-bedroom mansion, I mean, gosh, is just horrible. Yeah, Derek, I almost thought about having you on, but I also didn't want to add any stress to your day, and I didn't know about connection and a bunch of stuff. So I figured it'd be best. Maybe we will do it another time. And Addie, being your birthday, we were going to do something about your 3-year anniversary of self-harm, so we have to do that interview quick. Or not quick, but someday. And hello, everybody. I hear that there was a little bit of a discussion about over the pond over in the UK. And I've been itching to travel. And I'll be honest, partly is because I've got to take care of mom's house and it's a distraction. Partly is because it's in my blood. I travel and meet homeless people, hopefully meet many of you. I normally visit the UK for a month every year, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks, sometimes a month. I normally do an international trip every year. I can't afford that. Somebody usually brings me over, and I'm grateful. And this year, because of coronavirus, there's no travel. At least over in and Tristan is picking on me. So hey everybody, how you doing tonight? Little Viking coach. Cold in New York. It's starting to get cold. Mark Anthony, that is cool. Hey, Lady Dragonfly. And I think I saw earlier, oh, I got to add the right thing. I thought I saw Auntie D starting the night off with a donation. Thank you. I have to, where is the chat thing? I got to set it up to, cool. One thing, I had a call with Google this week. One thing really that's always impressed me with Google and YouTube is they're always very open to feedback. In fact, they actually encourage it. And this week, They're nonprofit, Google for nonprofits. We had an hour chat, and I should have mentioned we got to do something about this chat. It's really hard for me, anyways, to navigate. Now, that might be because I'm an old man. And so hopefully Tristan didn't hear my thing about traveling, because for a year, Tristan has been trying to give you, like, hyping me going to Minnesota where it's cold, and she hasn't followed through. And of course I'm picking on her, but hey. And hey, Melinda, hello. Slevin, hello. Daniel, hello. Hey, George. And if I miss you, Dano, hello. Jeff Ha is in the house. Okay, I'm trying to catch up. Can catch up. So how was your week? Last Sunday's chat, I was live stream last Sunday's chat. I wasn't in the best of moves. It was a tough week, and I'll be totally honest. This is another tough week. And I spoke at an AA meeting last night virtually, and I was completely blown away and honored. And I'm slapping myself for not doing it sooner, because I'm in this house alone, and I isolate a lot. There's not a lot going on here in Binghamton. I need to clean out this house and get back to Los Angeles, but I don't have an income. So I'm procrastinating it. It's pain, it's painful to be here, and it's painful to do it all. But here's the thing is, we're all going through something. We're all going right now. I mean, no one escapes suffering. None of us. And with the fires and the political madness and systemic racism and the protests, which the protests are pretty awesome, but there's, I don't care if I lose the monetization on this, there's assholes that are looting and, being violent and being stupid. And it's just, oh my gosh. So I was feeling sorry for myself, and I did this AA meeting, and hopefully I said something that was of service to other people. But there was a gentleman that spoke after me, and he kind of kicked my ass, because he really, it sucks. We're all fucked, right? It sucks. Life sucks at times, and life is great at times. And you have to go through those sucky times. And right now, it sucks really bad. And I could focus on me, what is bothering me, what I don't have, or I can be of service to others, and I can help people. So one of the things that gets me down here in Binghamton is that there's homeless everywhere, but this is a really small town, and I've never connected locally. So if I was in Philadelphia or New York or Seattle or Tampa, or I would be out being of service or helping as I'm saying that, right? I'm putting up an excuse of why I can't be of service here, but I can. It's just me in my head. Does that make any sense, right? And what I've really, what I've learned, and I shared this earlier on social media, is, I'm worried about you guys. I'm worried about us all. I'm worried about me, but I'm more worried about you. There were some people in one of the posts I made today, I think it was in the YouTube community, that was talking about how they got evicted and it's their first time living in their car. And my heart broke for them. And I started to think about, there are 10, 20, 30 million people at risk. This Trump's doing this CDC moratorium on eviction, but it's not rent relief. So um, when the ban on eviction is over, all those people are going to still owe $10,000, $20,000, and the landlords need money too. I mean, it's not there's super corporations, billionaire landlords, right? But there's small mom and pop landlords that they have to pay the bills too. And it is really, 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 really scary. And it's probably the same everywhere. I have a friend of mine who's a photographer in Washington, D.C., and he shared some photos. He was, for whatever reason, he went out and he started photographing the effects of the coronavirus on local businesses in Washington, D.C., and they're all boarded up, and yeah, Oliver Smith. See, Oliver Smith is a landlord and they all have mortgages. And, I mean, my point is about the landlords is we hear a lot about renters, and we need to, and eviction and everything else. But you know what? It trickles up, right? Landlords have bills too, and they'll get evicted if they can't pay, or the houses will be foreclosed on. And it is just a mess. Hi, Sang. Thank you so much. And I just saw that you're in New York City. So you guys slap me. Just slap me, okay? It's September. My goal, gosh, I just did a hard transition there, right? We're talking about everybody hurting, and maybe I was trying to spin it to some motivational stuff, and then I just did this hard transition. I'm sorry if it gave you whiplash. That wasn't my intention. I usually am better at segues. But it's September, right? It's the end of September almost, right? Starting to get cold here on the east. My goal was to already have part of this house torn up, maybe start the selling process and move back to Los Angeles. But I don't even, I literally applied for food stamps last week, right? I can't get them because of something I don't qualify, but I'm hurting and you're hurting and everybody's hurting. So where I was going was maybe I was going to try to travel someplace, which I might head down to New York City for a few days, maybe Philadelphia. And the reason is back to being of service, right? So in New York City, they're displacing because of NIMBYs, right? There's displacing homeless people that are in hotels, but then they're moving them to where these homeless families are and displacing them. And if you're paying attention to what's going on in Philadelphia, there's homeless tent camps downtown Philadelphia. There's some other locations. And hey, Sharon, thank you so much. And they're trying to, and they might have already, sweep the homeless camps. And so I really feel I need to be there. And I'm trying to balance it all out. I'm trying to balance out what I'm going to do for my life, for my future. I've got to get out of this house. I've got to, don't you feel like that? I mean, it feels like to me, it's going to explode. It feels, it doesn't matter if Biden wins or Trump. I mean, it does matter. To me, it matters. And I think it matters to our democracy. But either way, it's going to explode. And that is really, really scary. And so here I'm segueing back. Are you guys paying attention? So we're talking about like depression and feeling sorry for yourself and trying to come out of it. And then we talked about traveling and being service. And now I'm back to what's going on. And for me, where I am, there's a lot of things that are going on, and I bet you there is for you too. But I've never lived in a time. You know, I remember growing up when my stepdad was worried about being laid off. I remember when gasoline was being rationed. I remember when I think it was Nixon even, gosh, I'm old, you know, where you're going to set your thermostats at, if you set your thermostats on 68 because they're trying to save fuel, right? Might have been Reagan, might have been. But the point is, the country was in a crisis of some kind. I've lived through the LA riots. I've lived through several, the Whittier earthquake and the Northridge earthquake. And, you know, there's been, you know, these crises in life, crises, but it's this time now, this time now feels significantly worse. And that is where, and I'm going to come out of this with a recommendation. If I don't choke, it feels significantly worse. And that's where I'm having the hardest time, because so I really believe positive things happen to positive people, but you also have to feel your emotions. So if you're going through some depression, you have to feel it. Don't bury it, you know, connect with others, speak about it, be vulnerable. Vulnerable is a strength, not a weakness. And so I spoke at this AA meeting last night and I was super encouraged. Afterwards, this gentleman spoke and he really got me thinking less about me and how all of us are hurting right now, right? And how it will pass. At some point, it will pass. And so I woke up this morning encouraged, and then there's other madness going on and it's so hard. You know, I woke up this morning and I go online and I see Derek in front, and I shot a documentary. I've shot lots of videos there. I've hung out with Derek, and Derek's standing in front of a burned out area. And I knew right then and there, I didn't have to read the title. I didn't have to watch the video. I knew there was a fire at the homeless camp, you know, and, you know, the fires, I mean, So my suggestion, my advice, and for me, that AA meeting really helped tremendously. How's the audio, guys? Is the audio okay? I can't. You guys would tell me by now, right? Right? So what I learned about, so what I'm trying to say is that we need each other. And this AA meeting showed me this. So you guys probably know I have 25 years sober. I'm a friend of Bill W., which is another way of saying that you're in the AA fellowship. AA works for me, whether it be Emotional Anonymous or church or, you know, your bowling league or whatever, wherever you find community, you need to find community. And for me, you know, I'm in this virtual AA meeting. I would much prefer being there in person. And it was such a great experience for me because it got me out of this, right? The enemy is up here. It got me out of this. And the first thing I thought is, God, and it was a Seattle AA meeting, and I should join this every week. And then I went and I looked up my groups that I used to hang out with in Hollywood, the AA groups, and I found them online. And so I'm going to commit to not being in here, because in here, I start going negative, and this world out here is also negative, and it pushes this to be more negative. And I think right now, and I know I'm speaking to me, but hopefully this is reaching somebody else. We need community. It's what we're doing on Sunday nights, right? Just like last week, I didn't want to do it. But then I remembered it's you guys. It's you guys. You guys, Dano, I think earlier I saw Dano tweet, looking for the room regulars, right? This has become our community. So wherever the community is for you, cherish it, hang out with it. Don't sit in your own stink. I think it's going to get worse. Whether Biden wins or Trump wins, it's going to get nasty. And I am, I'm normally a glass half full thinker, but so let me spin this back. You ready for another hard transition? Shish. It's like a shish pan. That's a television. Never mind. If you paid more, you'd get better jokes. And that was a bad joke. Sorry. For years, the homeless sector. So the National Alliance to End Homelessness, which is the big one. It's the big lobbying organization, research firm. I don't know exactly what they all do. For years at their national conference, they got up and said, we're winning. We're ending homelessness. Good job. In the last couple of years, right? And most of you guys, we're all like, no, you're not. You're not winning. No, you're not. We're seeing more homeless people. We know more homeless families in hotels. You're not winning. What the hell is this bullshit that you're winning, right? And the homeless sector is, we're winning. We're ending homelessness. So the last couple of years, because it's gotten so bad, they were forced to change. And so at their conferences, they would say, well, it's really bad. We can do better. So they went from, we're winning, we're ending homelessness, you're doing a great job, to, well, we could do better. It's getting really bad. And now shit has hit the fan. You go to any city. And today I'm watching the news and I'm just thinking about how, you have the pandemic killing jobs. You have pandemic affecting rents and, mortgages. And now you have the fires that are going to cause homelessness and going to cause havoc on the economy. And then there's a new hurricane hitting the New Orleans like by Tuesday, right? And I was watching on the news, there's this area that, they're saying it might not be too bad, but where there is this, white area could be, like this huge amount of rain. If you guys don't know, New Orleans is already under the water, right? So and I'm not one of these doomsday people or whatever. We're gonna survive. We're gonna get through it. But again, back to community. We've more so than ever. We have to get back to this depression ethic. I mean, it used to be, when the Great Depression. So a little history here, okay? In 1927, the Mississippi flooded, and over 1 million people lost their homes. It was the first real mass homelessness of record. You could go back into the 1600s and there was homelessness when Native Americans were massacred and everything else. One day, maybe we'll do a show on the history of homelessness. But in 1927, the Mississippi River flooded, right? And it was the first huge tent cities. They were segregated too. You had black people over here and you had white people over here. I mean, research the flood of the Mississippi, right? In 1927. And then in 1929, the Great Depression hit just 2 years after. So we're faced with massive amount of homelessness, massive amount of poverty. And what did we do? We took care of our neighbors. We knew that people get hit with hard times. We knew that if we did not help our neighbors, that something even worse could happen to them. We felt an obligation to be a part and support our community. That's gone. Now it's, oh, they're a Trump supporter, they're a Biden supporter, they're a liberal, they're conservative, and there's no more of people fall on hard. That's their choice. They made bad choices. Oh, they just need to get a job. One thing on the YouTube videos to this day, people still write, get a job. Most service jobs in America, and I'm sure in other countries too, do not exist. Why do we still have this stupid thinking that it's not our fault? That it's not our responsibility. Maybe not our fault. That was probably a wrong saying, but a wrong phrase. But it's our responsibility to take care of our neighbors. The thinking that a homeless person could just, oh, you know what? I'm really tired of homelessness. I'm going to go get a job. Yes, I'm going to go get a job. It doesn't matter that I can't find a place to sleep at night. It doesn't matter that I can't shower. It does not even matter that it will take me maybe a couple years working minimum wage at Walmart to save up first and last month's rent. It doesn't matter that there's 20 million other people at risk of being evicted. It doesn't matter that unemployment and, so we have two economies. The people that can work from home, those jobs have been restored. The people that, like you're probably, most of you sitting at a laptop or your desktop, maybe you're on your phone, but you're in your home, and many of you work now from your home. You no longer go into the office. But there's this other economy of people that worked as bellhops or Uber, or they worked at the airport, or chefs or busboys or receptionists, or, you just name it. All those service jobs are gone. So the idea, oh gosh, this is like, you guys have been getting me to rant every week now. This idea that a homeless person can just go get a job is not practical, nor is it realistic. We have to take care of our community. We have to take care of our neighbors. When we've got to stop this division of, oh, they believe like that, they're the enemy, because it's just going to explode if we don't. Whew. Hey, Freddie, thank you. Thank you. Michael Sharon, how can I help the people in Invisible People videos? Great question. Glad you asked. How you help, and the reason the videos are there is to go fight homelessness in your community. There are, whether it be Chad or Mary or Popcorn or Jimmy or Sue or Chrissy and her family, there's tens of thousands of people just like them. And we have to end homelessness. The point of Invisible People is not to just help one homeless person. That is, again, not practical or realistic. And you know, most of the time when people think about, oh, I want to start a GoFundMe for them, they're talking about charity. We've run the most recent, Dawn and her husband, their GoFundMe has raised $5,000. Thank you. They are in a hotel right now. The hotel is expensive. Food is expensive. They are not, that GoFundMe is not going to get them out of homelessness. It's not. It's helped. They're not in the tent, but when the money runs out, and a hotel's probably anywhere from $2,000, $3,000 a month, they're back outside and they have health issues. And I'm just trying to make a point that, yeah, it helps getting them some money, some immediate needs, but you've got to contact your legislators. You've got to be politically active, and everybody that watches one of these videos needs to, wherever you are you in London or London, Canada, or Tampa or Sweden, or wherever you are, you have to take tangible actions to end homelessness. Because if we work to end homelessness, and homelessness is going to get really, really bad, then you'll help the people in the videos because they won't no longer be homeless. So I'm not against feeding. We just did a massive barbecue at Echo Park Lake for 80 homeless people. Right? Thanks to all you guys that supported. We did a massive barbecue. It's what they wanted. I wouldn't have chosen barbecue, but it's what they wanted. So there are times when I do charity too. Charity is often needed, but charity doesn't end homelessness. So when you see an Invisible People video and you see that person and it breaks your heart, and that is awesome because it means that you're human. The point of that video is for you to say, holy schmoly, I bet you there is a Chad in Cincinnati, Ohio, where I live. I'm going to get off this computer and I am going to go volunteer at a homeless shelter, or I'm going to start sending emails to politicians here where I'm going to call the mayor, or whatever it is. You take tangible actions to end homelessness. There was somebody today that they're putting homeless videos up and doing GoFundMe links, and that's not. Anyways, we need to end homelessness, not maintain it. End. And the best way to end homelessness is fix the affordable housing crisis. I mean, right now, there are 30 million people at risk of being evicted. If we do not do something about the economy and how this pandemic has destroyed this economy, it's going to be really, really bad. And even if Chad needs shoes, which everybody's been offering to buy Chad shoes, and Chad doesn't even want shoes, right? Chad, I tried. Chad doesn't want shoes, okay? The thing is, we have to fix and end. We have to fix the affordable housing crisis. I mean, you have to go back in Chad's story. You have to go back to when he was a kid and his mom were first experienced poverty, if there was support for his mom, for her to be able to have a house so they didn't live in their car, Chad would probably have a completely different life. And that's how we end homelessness. Does that make sense? Wait. The full flower of rantlessness. Oof. And please know, Michael and everybody else who thinks like that, I get it. And it's great. You want to help people. You see an invisible people video and you go, my gosh, that person is homeless. I want to help. Well, you can help, but the impact is in working to end homelessness in your community, because it doesn't matter what video, whether it be page or any of the videos that you see, there's tens of thousands of homeless people just like them. And if we don't do something to help all the people that are in crisis right now, there's going to be millions and millions of more homeless people. So buying Chad shoes is not going to help fight homelessness. It's going to make you feel better, but it's not going to fight homelessness. Interesting little sidebar is I hung out with Chad. He was with a homeless girl that I know that I'm still debating if I'm going to put up her story. But if you guys don't know, I give everybody a card with all my information, and then it has support information to our online support group. And Chad and I had a really long conversation because he wouldn't take the card, because he's like, well, I'm going to lose it. I don't even have shoes. And I'm like, dude, come on, let me, you guys don't see you. One time I was in London. I was with Derek Humphreys, and we were walking down the Strand, and a homeless person needed shoes. And we went to every place we could find until I found the size and what kind of shoes they want. Choice is important. I was in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, right? And there was a guy who is desperately needed a shoes, and there was no shoe stores, right? Most cities I can look on my phone and you guys, I don't share a fraction of what I do. So there's a guy, he's the guy that walked the Appalachian Trail, if you remember his story. He's in desperate need of shoes, and there was no shoe stores close. So I took an Uber to the nearest mall, bought him the shoes that he wanted, Ubered back, and gave him the shoes. I remember one of my favorites, and I'm sure it's on Twitter someplace, and the guy didn't want his face shown, but when I'm in a San Francisco or London or New York, I can buy shoes right away because there's a shoe store usually within a few blocks. And there was a homeless person in the Tenderloin, and I actually took him in. If I can, I will take the person with me so that they can make a choice. And we went into a Payless and we bought him shoes. And, he was afterwards, and I did a little Twitter video without showing his face because he didn't want it. I asked everybody their permission, and he's doing this little, skip dance type thing because he had shoes, right? Okay, where are we? You guys still with me? I saw Tristan's thing about a flower rantness, and so Lewis, no, I didn't do a video of the barbecue, and the people on here. So I run an online support group for homeless people, and I take homeless people to a fancy restaurant in Los Angeles. I've done it 3 times. I do take photos with permission, and I do post them because donors gave money. In fact, there are photos of the barbecue online. It was a wonderful event. I could make a video. It would probably get a huge amount of views, but cameras change everything. And the importance of this event, the barbecue, was community. So just so you guys know, and thank you, Anonymous, we're a nonprofit. I'm not a YouTuber. There's ads on this. Well, until I said a couple of choice words. But most of our videos don't have ads on them. Why? Because it wouldn't be right. We're a nonprofit. There's other ways to make money. You guys are donating. Anonymous just gave $5. Thank you so very much. If we could raise enough to, I'm just going to be real, right? I've been doing this for 11 years. I have yet to be paid. In a normal world, I make money speaking or consulting. And because of COVID, there's no income. But here's the thing. We need to hire staff. And it's not because we need to pay staff. Homelessness is going to get worse. Homelessness is going to get significantly worse. You just had a hotel on the Upper West Side that NIMBYs, thank you, Anonymous, that NIMBYs forced the city to remove homeless people. You've got, there's some really crazy stuff going on in Los Angeles where some residents did this rock thing, right? This NIMBY battle is going to get worse. We need to educate the people about homelessness. Invisible people, we're it. We're the homeless industry. There's 250 foundations in the homeless sector, all with billions of dollars, millions of dollars. They do not support amplifying the voice of homeless people. Why? Because then it would have to change the system from how they made their money. And foundations do a lot of good. I'm not totally slamming foundation. What I'm trying to make the point is we are the only organization nationally that amplifies the voice of homeless people. That is extremely important. And as homelessness gets worse, we need to be able to scale. Thank you, Lil. And you know what, you guys? I forgot. Can you guys see this? Nobody's asked about my black eye or my motorcycle accident. You guys, you're slipping. Thank you, Anonymous. And by the way, I should have a bandage on. It's like really big. One thing I've learned, it's like extremely tough to do a bandage here because you got your eye there, right? And you can't put the bandage there and then your hair here. So it's kind of really funky. So let me see. What do you guys vote for? Motorcycle accident, gang fight, maybe motorcycle gang fight, or shark attack? What do you think? What should I? Because see, chicks dig scars. So I need to come up for a story for that. Pillow fight. Knife fight. Hey, Jeff. Yeah. Shark attack. I had skin cancer and I haven't been talking about it because I'm fine. I mean, I'm going to have a nice scar, got a little bit of a shiner from it, but I'm fine. They got all of it. So I haven't really been talking about it. Hey, Dry, in Brazil. I would love to visit Brazil. I had an opportunity during the Olympics in Rio, and it didn't pan out because I had something else going on. But I wasn't there for the Olympics. I was going to be there to fight homelessness, or to help fight homelessness. Hey, Anonymous, thank you. Dictator Dan, I was thinking about, hey, Trisha, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you for subbing. Hopefully you're all subs. Grateful, you guys, we passed, I think, where are we at? How many subs? We're at 667. Woo! I really want to, hey, thank you, baked beans and toast. I love that. I would love to visit Australia. In fact, I'd be totally honest. I sometimes daydream about next travel, and I was thinking about the UK. There used to be, I've never been to Australia. Those of you, hey, Rojo Casey, I love that. Where are you guys? Those of you guys in Australia, where should I visit? I mean, I think Melbourne or Sydney, right? Hey, Maria, the GoFundMe is on in their description. Yes. And I've been trying to, hey, Anonymous, I've been trying to get the county to go visit. One thing that we were able to get, and when I say we mean loosely, because here I'm in upstate New York and I'm only Rojo Casey, thank you. Oh my gosh, just sharing a video is great. $1 is amazing. Thank you. Don't feel sorry at all. And I am so grateful. So thank you. It means the world. So one of the things is we were able to, that's what I was saying. When I say we, all I'm doing here, hey, Flora, thank you. All I'm doing here is putting pressure on these agencies, right? It's people on the ground. There's a gentleman named Matt, and there's some other, hey, Anonymous, thank you. Mr. Mango. I mean, they just reported rough sleeping is at an all-time high, which is why I was thinking about coming over. Oh, Brisbane. I didn't even think about that, Jill. Hey, poet. I'm never going to be able to say that, poet. Can I just call you poet for short? But thank you. Where was I? I totally spaced. I totally spaced. There was talk about me going to Japan next year, but I don't know if any of it's going to happen. I mean, right now, hey, Silver Pants. Right now, because of COVID, travel is rough. Yeah, Reed. Yeah, no. Hey, Anonymous, thank you. No, Reed. Matt is the guy on the ground who introduced me. He brought me to them to hopefully help. Anonymous, thank you. I don't know what country COP is from, but thank you. I got to look that up. Oh, wow. Colombia. Thank you, Anonymous. It's funny. I typed cop into Google and, police came up. H11, great. I am going to try to get to Philadelphia soon. I'm going stir crazy here. I am going stir crazy. If I don't do a couple of short, I'm thinking Philadelphia, New York City, Harrisburg. I probably should do Boston, but then I'm totally not taking care of this house. And I got to get back to the West Coast. Hey, Simply Smile, dear. I love that. There are like Rocky, there's updates, there's a couple updates of other people. So updates happen. Sadly, we don't have the funding. I mean, I'm doing this, I don't get paid doing this. And so most of our travel was, because now travel is who knows what, most of our travel was funded by third parties. So what would happen is, a marketing firm or an organization would pay me to go speak, and I would, they would pay for the airfare, they would pay for hotel, and then they would give me a little bit of money. And most people take that little bit of money and that's their income. Well, I would take that little bit of money, and then I would rent a car or extend the hotel stay and then visit homeless people in that area. So to be able to do updates, I have to have the funding to be able to do updates. But to be quite honest, most of the homeless people that we've interviewed are still homeless. A few have been housed. Many have passed away. And that is why this work is so important. That is why you guys are so important. Because see, together we are invisible people. Together we have to work and end homelessness. I am probably the only nonprofit in the world that will tell you to support your local nonprofits. I will tell you to donate locally over donating to invisible people. I am the only nonprofit that does that. Why? Because I truly want to end homelessness. And if you get involved locally, it's going to be more of a connection with you. You're going to feel more connected to the community. You're going to get more reward from it. Now, we need funding, so I'm not saying don't donate to invisible people, but your first priority should be your local nonprofits. And I am the only nonprofit that will tell you that. And it's true. You need to support ending homelessness in your own community. Martin, I agree. Let's end the suffering. Oh, Addie, you and Tristan been talking. Somebody was just talking about their son was living in their car and they got towed away. Hey, David, the house and the contents. Mom is given, somebody told me this lamp was worth money, but I can tell you there's nothing in this house worth money. How do I know? My mom gave everything worth anything to her nieces, and they went shopping. They took everything out of this house that was worth anything. So most of this stuff I've just got to take to a thrift place or something. The house will sell after, like right now, I owe taxes. I had some gosh, I'm going to get emotional. I had some savings, but I have to pay school taxes now, and it wiped out all my money. So, and this house is not that much. It's not that, if this was Los Angeles, this would be $1 million home, right? And it's not. The sale of this house is not going to be that much money. And I don't know, at 60 years old, I probably should invest it for a retirement. What is a retirement? I don't know. I got nothing. I say this a lot. there's like a gazillion% chance I'm going to be homeless again. And some days I think I should just walk out the front door and just let it all happen. Okay. Julio, thank you, thank you, thank you. And hello from upstate New York. Michael, I do agree. UBI is something that needs to happen. Dennis, there is a documentary down below the in the description. Silver Pants, like just like I say for homeless people, a GoFundMe is not going to help. I need a steady income. So here's my choices. Okay, I go get a job. I'm 60. Well, I'm 59, but I'm soon to be 60. In my profession, which is marketing, they hire 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds. It's too old. So ageism exists, right? So for me, I've got to go get a job at Walmart or Taco Bell. Know what that means? I walk away from invisible people. I've tried to work at invisible people in another job before. It's nearly impossible. And it's crazy to walk away from this work just because it doesn't raise enough money to support me. Doesn't mean, and just so you guys know, we have 38 writers, 17 full-time. Several of them are homeless. Few of them are formerly homeless. We have a managing editor. We have workers that are getting paid, right, to run all this. I couldn't do it. This YouTube channel is just one thing. We just need funding to scale, to grow, so we can reach more people and create more impact, you know? So here are my choices. I walk out the door and just go and be homeless. That's actually very attractive, okay? Or I quit invisible people, or I put it on the back burner and go work at some minimum wage job someplace, right? I'm probably going to try to find a job in the marketing industry again. I could start a consultancy, but then what happens is you get clients paying you money. And let's say I need to go to Philadelphia for a homeless thing for invisible people, but the client wants me to do this. The client wins, right? And I know this because that's how I've been paying myself. I've got to limit the amount of consultants or the clients that I get, because then it kills invisible people. So I don't see any other way of me being able to get back to Los Angeles or any place, getting out of this house. I got to get out of this house. I just touched that. If I don't go get a marketing job, and that means invisible people is going to be put on the back burner for a while. I don't see any other way, right? I mean, maybe a foundation in the homeless sector, and there's many of them, will come and support us, but that's not going to happen either, right? We lost a major donor today. And, you know, being a realist, because of the pandemic, and, you know, gosh, some of you gave, like, there was $1 donation tonight. There was some $50 donations tonight. I'm grateful. Huge. Thank you. Huge. But our fundraising is down 79% from last year. And that's because of the pandemic. So very real. Anyways, it has been did you guys have fun tonight? This is 2 weeks in a row where it's just been me talking to you guys. So I'm going to try to figure out maybe to get some guests or something, do something. Because after a while, I just feel like I'm a talking head. But I think you guys are you guys like my rants, right? I think you guys just log in for me to rant. Instead of being let's talk homelessness, it should be let's rant about, or Mark's rants about homelessness, right? Anyways, guys and girls and everybody, oh my gosh, thank you, Anonymous. I am going to go back to the very beginning here and what we were talking about. Several of you, I think, have been with us for the whole evening. I'm honored. It's hard right now. It's hard on everybody. A lot of people can't open up about that. A lot of people have trouble being vulnerable. So watch out. Watch out for your neighbors. Watch out for those around you. And we have to take care of each other. And it's the only way we're going to get through this. It's the only way. And yeah, I don't have money and I don't have money, right? There's a lot of people hurting and we're all hurting and everybody's different. People have different, it's one thing that drove me crazy. And I responded to a few people on Chad's story. They're like, oh, it's a choice. The kid was friggin' abused and raped as a young child, right? And everybody's different. And we have to consider that. We have to look at other people and understand that they handle problems. They handle what's going on. They handle trauma. They handle abuse. They handle pressure. They handle stress different than we do. And we need to have compassion for our neighbors. House neighbors and unhoused neighbors. We're going into some very interesting time. And together we're going to make it. And I know that sounds like cliche bullshit, but it is the truth. We're going to make it. We're going to make it. But please take care of your neighbors, your unhoused neighbors and your housed neighbors. So I hope you had a good time tonight. Happy birthday, Addie. Happy birthday. I thought about singing you a song, but then I remembered how much I love everybody here and I didn't want to, like I said, everybody deals with trauma differently. I didn't want to cause you all trauma, right? And I just, happy birthday, Addie. Derek, please stay safe. Everybody, please stay safe. It's rough out there. And I hopefully, you all will have a good week and I will see you next Sunday night, Lord willing.